Hi, everybody. It's the Somatid Man again. Today, I'm going to talk about what I believe. I call it, I don't believe anything or in anything. But no, I'm not going to go to this point where already we got all this technology and bullshit and everything. I'm going to go back to the beginning of my life. Shock, isn't it? You thought I was going to go into all this bullshit technology and all that crap that I don't believe in. Although I believe in it, believe me, I just don't like it. But there I am, going to kindergarten or nursery school, whatever. And I'm being programmed and started to learn what they wanted me to learn. As I told you before, I think that we're deliberately given a half an education. Well, that's something I believe. What I can't believe is we've never picked up on it. So there you go. And then you head on down to, like I said, after kindergarten, you've got first grade. Well, now they're going to start teaching you arithmetic and all kinds of different things. And other subjects that they want you to learn. But they're only going to give you as much as they want to give you. But don't blame your poor teachers. Your poor teachers are just a little less dumb than you. Or they'd be aware of the fact that they're teaching the same crap over and over and over again. So now we get the programming of, as I said, nursery school, kindergarten, first grade. And they're teaching us everything they want us to learn in all different subjects. And that was the beginning of learning. At that point, social studies will be popping in there soon. No, not in first grade. But I'm talking about, again, going another step. Why do I use social studies? Because I'm just screwing with your head. There's more. There's English. There's so many things that you can start on your way to become a human slave. Don't worry. All right, I'm in a pretty good mood that I found a way to get to you without giving you the same bull crap that everybody else talks about, not caring about it, believing in anything. So there we are. We're on all these steps. Isn't it great? So the teacher teaches you as much as they've learned, which really screws us because they went to college. And this is how they came out. I hate to say it, just for laughs I will. When Sheldon went to court and the judge got kind of disgusted with him, and he was talking about what he is, a scientist and all this crap. And he says that you are in front of the kiddie table, that you didn't go anywhere. And yet, you're at this kiddie table, compared to him being a physicist. Boy, my mouth's working. A physicist. I don't even care anymore, all right? You know me or you don't. And basically, he insulted the judge. Now, I'm always saying to my wife, yeah, he's a genius. A genius to me is one that has a brain enough to know what to screw with and what not. You don't go in front of a judge and tell him that he isn't the one that handles the kiddie table while he went to school and became a scientist. You don't do that, because then automatically whatever's in the hand of who you're insulting, they'll use against you. And they did. But anyway, let's get back to it. Just a few laughs there. I got to show some comedic value and some information, which actually makes sense. So there you go. Now you hit the next level. And you basically are being taught to go out eventually into the world after you finish with your junior high. Now you're able to, like I said, get a job because you have enough knowledge in your small education to get one. Well, I'm not talking about a law firm. I'm talking more like Walmart, all right? But you can actually get a job at this point in time of evolution that you've had in your half-ass education. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing with bad or wrong with working at Walmart. That's part of the game. You're getting used to be a really poor schlep, as they call it, slave. You're on your way. All right? So you finish high school, and whatever you decide to do, go to college, don't go to college, whatever. That's after you've learned all of this stuff, all of the different levels of education that you get. No, I wasn't going to go through every damn course if that isn't enough to make you understand just basically that I'm talking about all of the others. Anyway, so there you are. You're going to college to learn what you want to learn. And you start doing that. You start doing all the things that you have to be taught to do what you want to do. Now, don't get me wrong. People who don't go to college and they do something and they're fine with it, that also works for the slavery. The Illuminati really don't care what you do as long as you make money for it. But let's go back to college. So you learn all of this, and you get done and you get a diploma. If you continue on, you can get a PhD. What it's worth, you can wipe your ass with, okay? You're making more money and you become a higher price slave. And you Google heads in the churches and religion and our government and our medical field, all these different things that you are gophers for. You will, excuse me, you will pay for your stupidity. But right now, let's go back to all of what I talked about. You're going to college. You're getting it done. You want to be a nurse. You want to be a doctor. You want to go in the military. Whatever it is, you're getting it done. What you're really doing is setting things up so the Illuminati can own more of whatever you are. And you're only, as I said, taught the amount they want to teach you. That includes medically. And that doesn't matter. None of it matters what you do as long as you do it. So they don't care if you go to college. They don't care if you don't. They don't care if you go to college. And as I said, they don't care what you do. That's better than who you don't. But my point to you is very clear. When I was young, I went through all these steps. And I went to college more than once. Hey, guess what? I do nothing now. Oh, I do lectures and sit in the house and starting to write music again. You see the lectures, I don't have to explain. If you look behind me, you'll see my keyboards. I stay in here so I can watch TV when I want a break or to sit on the couch or whatever. Practice some vocals and turn off, make sure the keyboards aren't on. Do all kinds of things in the living room. Look at the walls, that's it. But I accept it because you guys are more screwed than I am. Oh, I'm bored, no doubt about it, and I wish I could contribute more. I thought my music, well, actually, we didn't do too bad on my music at the site. Oh, and by the way, I've made it very easy now. It's Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Katz, K-A-T-Z. One more time. You click on that, it'll take you down a row, a horizontal row, until you get a green circle with a white M in it, and it'll say Michael Katz. That'll take you to view and to see what I'm all about. So anyway, let's go back to it. How's it feel to be nothing? So now you do everything you're supposed to do. They evolve it technologically, and they program your brain through religion and our government. Our entertainment field, which I'll talk about at a different time, is such a distraction. It's unbelievable. All our stars, we pay their salaries. If we could only understand that and realize this entertainment is by design. It's a distraction, as Aldous Huxley said. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get into who he was and what he is. You go check it out. You'll learn something. So that's all entertainment. I got more to say later on that, but this is more important. This gives you a way to follow a path. I'll tell the people right now about Pfizer and Rockefeller and all the other places they've created your, oh, I guess you could say all your medicine. Of course, if you look at the side effects, horrible, worse than the problem you supposedly have. So that's on TV constantly. Every 5 minutes you've got some illness. You have to decide for yourself, excuse me again, what is true and what is a bunch of, well, I'll say malarkey. And they just keep on a coming and scaring the hell out of people. That's what you're getting. And with that half an education, you truly believe that. You believe everything that comes out. You see the military things now, and they're trying to have people join up. Come on, join up. You can help this country stay free of what? As I told you before, I truly believe if we don't wake up, eventually there will be soldiers in the streets. Now, that's my opinion. You don't have to beat me up and kick me off, YouTube. But these are the things and why I don't believe in anything. Because it's all made just too perfect. Vile, disgusting, and evil, but done really well. So here I am. Let's get back to me. It's the time period of the Vietnam War. And we watch all of this incredible entertainment. By the way, the Beatles were the first industry band, corporate band. That was the game to start it all off. A really interesting group of musicians that they pushed as these wonderful, innocent kids. Well, if you ever want to find out who the Beatles were, be ready to see the changes and tell your children the truth about the rock industry. I was conned, all right? And I don't feel bad about it. I feel the fact that that's what they wanted. Protests. Oh, you don't know how much money they made on protests and all the toys they sold and everything and the parking and the bands and ridiculous. Where'd the money go? Finding out that we helped support the war by doing all this. We never asked twice or a half or maybe even a 16th where the money was going. Now, I'll tell you once, and I'll tell you again, no matter what happens, don't protest. Even if they come out and they take our streets or anything that happens. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen because I truly don't believe they want us to really have a world war where everybody goes because we do their work for them. We're like a big farm, all different parts doing all kinds of different things, different farm animals. Oh, man, it's so funny when you think about it, isn't it? That you're a farm animal. So, I believe in this peace, freedom bullshit. And the Beatles pushed it. Did they know? Were they part of the Illuminati? Are they still? They have billions of dollars, but I don't see them helping the hungry or the homeless or getting the people to go out with the money to bring everybody home to hospitals and to rehabilitation centers and get the automotive industry to do something. All these different things. And a half an education is why we accept it. So there's your education. Isn't that great? Now, as time wore on, I began to see the real truth. These were manipulated wars. They were no accident. And they scared the people a little bit more into believing that they have to be protected. Now, these are the things that we haven't figured out yet. Everything I see is basically a physical illusion, a simulation. Now, I truly believe in order to have that simulation, we either have to have on a dimension that actually that you can create it through the brain. And there's really nothing there. Now, wouldn't it be funny if that was true? But I still think simulation has something to do with that the brain has for you to understand what it is. And I don't think they want us to really understand what a simulation is. Go check it out. Go check out what a simulation is. I even made a little line that's going to go in one of my pieces, and how mass is simulation and simulation is mass. Now, I could be wrong. It could be dimension. It could be going through your mind right now and you become partially an AI. Who the hell knows? But the truth is, conning us into believing the simulation, and who knows who's saying is really honest and really gives a damn, or is another gopher. You have to think for yourself. So there I am. I'm going to school for music and this and that, and being a farmer, and just all kinds of different things. Having a lot of fun, so I have a lot of choices. No, I was a musician and I wasn't going to quit. I was trying very hard to get out there and help the people to understand what the hell was going on. And I didn't know that as much as I know when the 90s, towards the end of it, I started to learn. I got the present so I could learn. No matter what happens, I know. If you don't, then I suggest you go find out. You have to understand. Do you know one of the best things I ever did was take 10 years of psychedelics of all types and go from a couple of hits to 10 at a time. What it did is it took me away from here. It took me into an area that I can't even describe. Like being in outer space. Was that real? Or was there another dimension that I went to? Or more than one? But eventually the energy slowed down and I melted back into my body. You want to believe it? Believe it. You don't want to believe it? Tough. I really don't care. I experienced it. See, that's why we shouldn't give a damn what anybody else thinks, unless it's something that you should respect and care about. You think for yourself. I could be totally wrong about the psychedelics, but I'll bet I'm not. My personality changed it quite a bit. I wanted to be a star more than ever as I took psychedelics. I thought I had a good reason, not only the music, because it was so different, but what I was saying in it. Like I said, Michael Katz, one more time. And just keep going horizontally in the row. And you'll find me with that circle that's green with a white end. Then it'll ask if you want to view. Well, if you want to view, go ahead. I believe the songs, though, are all just pictures. The other ones are with my lovely face. So here I am, going forward and seeing everything. One thing I remember seeing shortly after I woke up was George Carlin. He was tremendous. He went from the bullshit level he was going on Ed Sullivan to, we're going to put you on in front of thousands of people and you can tell everybody off. How's that? That's what he did. In all of these different stand-up routines, he always let you know that you were screwed and you have to wake up. He even said in one of his lectures about the way that they could scare the people is to give him a virus. Now, I'm not making that up. You go listen to George, and you will hear him say it, not me. So don't get me involved and tell everybody that it's all my fault. I'm telling you what he said, and you left him saying it, so I shouldn't have any problem because I'm repeating it word for word. So then here I am growing up and starting to learn and understand what the bullshit is and everything that happened. And by the way, I want to say something about John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. It wasn't an accident. When they were killed back in the 60s, they didn't exactly want to follow everything that they were told to follow. And John even wanted to talk about the secret societies. I guess he didn't realize a bullet through his throat and a bullet in his head was going to be stopped before it could be done. But the police and the military were told to stand down. The driver turned around and shot him in the throat. If you watch and look scientifically, you'll see the way he's handling his throat. The next shot he got in the front. Unless I couldn't see this video, or from the side. There could have been somebody there. But the other one was through the throat. Jackie didn't try to get off in the limo to help her husband. He had it. She had children. She had to worry about getting out of there alive. I felt for Jackie because I thought, if it was me, I don't think I could ever forget what I saw and how much I love somebody. Even though he was a womanizer, I'm not going to give him a perfect record, but he certainly didn't deserve that. Then his brother wanted to honor him, so he went in '68 to run for president. He was walking through the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel, and somebody walked by and shot him in the head. Now, how much you want to bet that was by design, because he was honoring his brother. Anybody they don't want, they get rid of. They got rid of John Lennon because he was going to go out and tour and tell people the truth of what's really going on. So he did his album and they blew him away. Now they blamed David Chapman, but Chapman got his orchestra. Well, he never got that too. He got his autograph in the morning. So how could David had killed John? He could have done it right there. But you didn't find out about that information. Neither did I right away. But the point is, they took him out because he was going to talk and sing. They did this to other people. Don't kid yourself. So all that happened. Not John, though, he was later. Control the people with the military, religion, health, you name it, to control the people. And they do a hell of a good job. Because now we're afraid of everything. Well, I don't believe that's real. I believe that's real, but I don't believe that I believe in it. It's something that you have to stop believing in and start believing what's in your head and think with your brain. And look around you. and listen to what they say and invert a lot of it. Musk wants to screw around with the IRS and get rid of it. Trump wants to deal with even the people that are in a family to be deported, including them. And our Constitution says, hey, baby, you're born here, you're a citizenship. So what kind of bull-ass crap is that? Again, wake up. So later on, after I'd learned so much, I opened my own shop. No, I did America Feeds and Houses itself, trying to get people interested in doing something. Now, this is me. I still believe acid had something to do with it. But I left the music industry to try and help all the people who were in very bad shape. And I want to tell you, I had barely nothing or nothing. Music, like I said, did better on my lectures. And I said things that would help end hunger and homelessness. I still have a program for it. So, this I'll say, I can't believe that the people are this ignorant. But with this education, I guess they are. They believe anything you tell them. They believe so much crap is real, they don't even think for themselves, even without being an AI and having your brain controlled and being told what to do and do it, and whatever. You think that's not coming? Well, it is. It's here somewhat, and if you look, even Lucy became a citizenship, which is hilarious. She is AI, okay? And she can become a citizen and have citizenship. There you go, I got it right. While Trump wants to actually get rid of even of people who are from this country deported. Now, am I kidding? I read it. I saw it, not just opinion. I saw it on an actual station. And I just had it just here now, which I was going to read, but it won't come through my system to do my lecture. You'll just have to go and check it yourself and see. So basically, here I am, growing up, and I started the Conscious Awareness Show. And I talked about everything that I could. I wanted to put one gentleman on. His name was William Cooper. If you ever get a chance, go read his book, Behold the Pale Horse. Because basically, he was taken out. They didn't like him talking about the fact that he saw aliens by his, with his father by this room that they were in, and they could hear them from the other side. So that's not a good thing to do. And, well, they got the hell out of there. But there it was, the Illuminati controlling the military. Am I full of it? Well, you can take it for that, but I'll bet you I'm not. So there I am, growing older, I finally leave the music industry behind because everything else I think is more important. And the music industry, as I said, is a distraction. It's enjoyable, don't get me wrong, the movies, TV, everything. But it's something that keeps you preoccupied instead of thinking about what's going on around you. And we're not alone. The rest of the world is in the same situation. So this isn't just for America. I'm trying to make sure if it can get anywhere, that it can even get further. And that goes for your phony gopher leaders. Again, the people have to understand everywhere throughout the world, we're just part of a large farm. Well, of course, there's water between us in certain areas, but hey, that's just a liquid. The facts remain everywhere in every country. There are slaves doing the work for the owners that run it. That's why they wouldn't want to end the world. Let's blow up everything so we can do all the work. Are you kidding me? Think logically. They work that hard to create the human race, get everything done the way they want it so eventually they can make AIs, and they want to kill you? Well, they want to make a robot of you, but hey, that just sounds like fun, right? You watch Big Bang and all they talk about is becoming robots. Sheldon's looking forward to so much, it's unbelievable. They're programming your head. A lot of these shows are programming your head. Especially the children. You should be watching everything they watch when they watch the cable or whatever. And you should ask them every day what they do in school and what they've been taught. And tell them you don't agree with that. I'm your mom, I'm your dad. I don't want you to believe that's true. That's the only way you can save the children from believing every piece of bullshit that ever comes out of the mouths of the teachers or the systems they want them to do or whatever hell it is. And again, I say don't blame the teachers. They've only been taught as much as they're supposed to be taught. That includes your nurses and your doctors and your sentence. Yeah, it's pretty good. It hurts like hell. Your dentists. That's as much as you're going to get. Anything else is a joke. I love the ones that we think we're going to learn something by figuring out our ancestors. Why, are they coming back to have a chat with us, let us know exactly what the hell happened and everything? Or are you just wasting a couple of $1,000 or more to go look for nothing? They've got you so conned. So you do find out your ancestor. Find out if it can do anything. Give it a call. Or dream it, like they did on Big Bang. Again, Sheldon and Bob Newhart. Go watch it, see what I'm telling you, and you'll see. And if you've already seen it, you know exactly what I'm telling you. So there we are. We have to make the children understand so they're not caught in this new generation and be controlled by our fake leaders, gophers, assholes, whatever you want to call them. Chickens. Chickens are mean, I hear, so we'll call them chickens. But the truth is, everything that they throw at you, think about it logically. Some of it invert, because see if it makes any sense. See if all the science is necessary. Tell yourself, what have they done with it since they finally got the human race on their feet and everything is good? And we're all healthy. And what if we only needed a doctor when something went wrong and needed to take care of because you get in a car accident or something? Not just because they open you up to see this little thing that they've been taught is bad, or giving you something with that for that little thing that causes cancer more so than ever, and it's dangerous and not able to be taken care of. Or could they just get to the point where we're healthy and when nothing ever happens to us unless part of our body gets damaged? We eat nothing that isn't organic or non-GMO, so we won't have to go to a dentist or a doctor. We take care of ourselves and make sure that we're getting rid of all the refuse. I have a thing in my site that you'll find out is the desert. Another thing I don't believe, that we have to take all our garbage and throw it in the water or wherever we can hide it and burn it. What the hell's wrong with you people? We got perfectly good deserts. And if we got the technology to build something to take the refuse out to the desert after you created a system so all the refuse can go through a huge, incredibly round tube and be blown over and burned while it's going through that tube. And once it does, then you have something that will blow all of the garbage, all the, well, I don't know, everything that's been burned, all of it, and you shoot it out until you reach the actual ending of it, and you're able to go into the eventually space, or it'll dissolve before it goes even that far. But it wouldn't hurt our countries. We wouldn't have pollution if we did that. But we have to understand what it is to remove all of the garbage out of the countries and live under a pure environment. Send it up to the sky. Have nothing but sand underneath you. Burn it. Make a system so it can just continue on, and everything goes far away from the countries. So there we have no problem anymore. Our water's clean, our air's clean. All of the filth and garbage goes into the air out at the desert. And the wind does blow, unless the Illuminati can stop that. And I have a feeling that's something that's not in their control. So there's another thing I don't believe. We don't have to have garbage in our atmosphere, in the air. All of it can go to the desert. No sneakiness to get it in and throw it in the water. And when you do that, there should not be any more illnesses. But it's because they've created these illnesses, you believe that they're real and that our air is filthy and all this other crap. Why? Why do you believe that? That's another thing I don't believe. It has to be created. Look at the chemtrails with those white horizontal lines in the sky a while back. And sometimes they show back up. They're chem. chemical trails, and there's a bunch of other things. Now, all the scientists, even Einstein, had no clue. But that's how much education really gives the scientists. Oh, sure, they find out a bunch of bullshit. That doesn't matter. What are we doing with it? Nothing. We just keep spending money and make more bullshit up. But we never really use it for much at all. But there we are. All the scientists are getting paid a lot. They're getting certain chemicals in. They're creating this. They're creating that. What do you think would happen if we stopped all that crap? Burned all our garbage in the desert. And the air was pure. There was no more garbage. It was blown away from here. And other countries too. We all do it. All our oxygen is clean. If that's the case, no more illnesses. But we spend so much time there also. All the scientists. Instead of finding ways to help all the people in real ways, they just make up crap as they go along. And now, another thing I can't believe. You idiots out there, and I'm saying idiots because I can't believe you haven't figured this out for yourself. There are people who are hungry and homeless out everywhere. You're making crap up that you don't even use. Spend that money on helping the people out of the streets. For all I know now, the forests. In order to do that, as I said in my other information, my site and my lectures, you have to get the clowns that you pay their salary, the stars, rock, movie, you name it, authors, cable, you name it, to give us money to help the people, our extended families, get off the streets. And if we were smart enough, we'd realize they would have no choice if we gave them none. But there we are. Entertainment, boy, you're going to have something after your depression for the day. I don't blame you. This is what they give you. It's like my wife said, why do you watch it? I said, because this is all the assholes give me to watch. But I'm smart enough then to believe anything. So again, entertainment, I don't believe in, as I said earlier. But we need money from these clowns. McCartney's got billions of dollars. I tried to contact him, and I never heard a word. I've had other people who are stars, and they never got back to me. But they talk a good story. They're always talking about loving and caring and helping and, taking in outer space and let them die out there in case they don't make it. Whatever. They talk the moon and the stars. And they do nothing. It's a disgrace. But now, you have them feel so guilty they give money. So the ordinary people of each country can go out and bring these people home. And before we do that, and while we're doing that, we build hospitals. We build rehabilitation centers. We get the automotive industry involved, educational industry involved, special kind of teachers, buses and such. You get the companies that sell all the computers. I'm saying companies so you know I'm not just singling out one. So the people that are brought to the rehabilitation centers, once they're capable enough, they can go on the computer and try and find employment without leaving the rehabilitation center. Have buses for the kids to go to school, have some have some buildings that they can use and have room. And get all the food that's thrown away because it's outdated by 5 seconds. It can be used to feed the hungry and the homeless in the rehabilitation and hospitals as long as it's clean and it's edible. We need all the people who understand how to take care of people in this situation and bring in psychologists and psychiatrists to help them get their minds together after an experience like that. And don't forget their dog or cat. That could have been one of the things that helped them get through all this is to have a pet, like normal everyday people. So all these things need to be done. A lecture every month for all the children throughout the schools, no matter how high you're up through high school. Furniture companies donating furniture and rugs and such for the hospital and rehabilitation center. Doing all these things, I believe in. The rest of the bullshit is what it is. A manipulation of the human race. You want to believe in any of that crap, you go right ahead, but it'll only cost you your soul and your life, because, well, if you take something that might make you act like a complete idiot robot, you get what you pay for. But those are the things that I do believe in and I don't believe in. Oh, there are a few more, but I think this is enough. Well, let me give you 2 more. The idea of playing with the people's minds, souls, and hearts for all these different children to come out there in wheelchairs and all this. We shouldn't have to do that at all. First of all, if the air is clean and the water's clean and everything's clean, the chance of getting cancer are pretty slim. Same thing with all the other illnesses. How can you if everything's clean and you're eating clean? Everything's organic or non-GMO. Everything you're doing is right. The only thing you can't do is repair your bodies. Materially, physically, and you need help. But it isn't going to hurt the atmosphere. Stop growing everything. It's just something that you have to understand. That's the answer. That includes you too, McCartney. And all you other clowns with millions of dollars. I heard one of the rappers sold his home for $4 billion. What is he doing with that much money and saying all these things about caring about his own people? And he doesn't give a shit. You had George Harrison worrying more about India than the United States and England. I can keep going, but that's what your rock stars and all your stars do. Nothing. Yet you just adore them. Why? You adore them? You actually adore them, willing to pay money to them, let them get whatever they want, do whatever they want? Well, I can't help you there. But the bottom line is that that's the way it is. I don't believe in much, but what I do believe in is pure and clean. And that's all really I have to say. I hope I can say I love you all, but I'd love to see you go to my site. All you have to do is go Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Katz, K-A-T-Z, one more time. And if you find it interesting, tell everybody else you know. We can enlarge this project. Well, take care and goodbye and good luck. And I hope I didn't make any mistakes, please. Don't think I tried to do it right. Don't think that I realized it or didn't realize it. You take care.